back on my home turf, so tranquil and so earnest. Where rambling coast roads meander with unknown purpose. Where a man can work and have a family with no disturbance. Where burning candles throw murmuring shadows on oak purlins. Where handsome folk are packing in close for verbose sermons with potent language passionately quoted from old versions. Fracture our code and get banished, that's most certain. But if clansmen vote for the hangman's rope, then it's closed curtains. I'm a slow burner from the valley where the ferns grow. There's no vermin in the alleys. It's a sturdy land where everyone's one verge over from their rallies. Generations of labour lingers in dwellings made of native timbers, decorated with ornate trims, hand planed by ancient fingers. Markets flank riverbanks filled with laughter and thanksgiving for spring harvests and winter blast filling drinking tanks. Whippersnappers pitter patter, practicing tit for tat with big sticks and giggling about this and that in their chitter chatter. No one's locking doors and all the shops are mom and pop stores. The only cause for crossing swords is at the crock pot awards. The Lord fills every nook and cranny, every brook and plan, every woman and man, every lamb and chook, every brook and dam and every woodland valley. But of late there's been something off, like a waft of garbage from a yard across. Like socks in the basket that the farmer's wife hasn't started to wash. Like a demons in the hedges, seeping in from the edges and possessing good people to speak of repentance for previous offences. Some things you would hardly notice and disregard as hocus pocus, but our kindred souls are shifting apart with an inward focus and picking holes where there were none. Shifting goalposts, attributing folks to our morals and getting quarrelsome with a terse tongue. And when I point it out, people point at me like I'm poison now, like I'm a paranoid boy scout out to destroy our vows. But that's not for me, so I seal my lips under lock and key and watch this odyssey unfold with increasing velocity. But now my power level could make the devil cower and bow and tremble as these petals flower. It's now or never, the 11th hour. This Tower of Babel is getting fouler. My power level is getting stronger. Not sure I can hide it for any longer. This knowledge is far too much to shoulder as this Tower of Babel is getting taller. Come follow me deeper into my sleepy hollow, where things are becoming creepier with every week in every street we follow. Once I was meek, but recently that seems to be changing. With every sleep deep in my dream state as the beast awakens. It's a mystery, the innkeeper of 3 generations secretly turned in his keys, then disappeared with no explanations, while his replacement couldn't speak out English names to save him. It's eerie, our priest is now preaching about integration. Increasingly the lanes are flooding with unfamiliar mobs, running about their days just like they've been struggling here for donkey's yonks. Undercutting our wages and summoning slaves for bodgy jobs, and raiding the honesty box to place our economy on the rocks. Shonky shopping chains are replacing our honky tonks with monotonous beige blocks laid over our wonky swamps. My neighbours used to liaise at the country club to play petanque. Now they scuttle away from the public space to evade the dodgy sods. As I stride on by, no one's sighting me in the eyeballs. They're hiding behind disguises like viruses writhe on the walls. Mesmerized by devices reminding them the skies will fall, implying it's just how the dice rolls, like some kind of divine laws. But it's like a bigger plan is in rhythm with our familiar land, as the hidden hand of a king of limbs is fiddling with invisible strands, jiggling strings and rigging a system of cynical scams. But the more tyrannical, the more my inner conviction expands. And now my power level could make the devil cower and bow and tremble as these petals flower. It's now or never, the 11th hour. This Tower of Babel is getting fouler. My power level is getting stronger. Not sure I can hide it for any longer. This knowledge is far too much to shoulder as this Tower of Babel is getting taller. Now I've spent more years than you'll care to assume, staring up at a hellish moon, wondering when this ruling threat will come descending like a lead balloon. Beware the club of intelligent thugs in the cellar gloom, threading puzzles together and uncovering elephants in the room. Worm tongues have snuck in, nudging us to the edge of doom, like a deluge flooding and covering up the desert bloom. One thing is true, we're bringing judgment to devils soon. Now it's up to the peasants to deal like justice to coons. Skimming the top off our yields and studding our fields with straw men. They're chucking us under the harvester wheels by propping us up as the source of sin, covering up our appeals and bending our laws like porch tin. But brothers, we're galloping up on the heels and brushing them all to the 4 winds, and switching the course on the ship that's caught in the grip of their drip torture. Aboard boarding the trip and cleansing our porcelain skin in the bridge waters. In generations before we'd be storming into our bricks and mortars and gathering horse whips, pitchforks and lit torches. I've spent half my life hypnotized by a crystal ball, glistening from the living room corner, advertising their minstrel tours. And all the while they'd be building a tower with foundations laid in hell. Now it's swelling up, scraping the sky and about to sound Satan's bell. But I'm beacon bright, a light being, feet are rising and light feeling, sightseeing and streaming with all seeing eyes that are high beaming. In this modern zoo that spews vomit, I'm immune to bubonic flu. I'm too atomic, a zooming comic, consuming all of my sonic boom. My power level could make the devil cower and bow and tremble as these petals flower. It's now or never, the 11th hour. This Tower of Babel is getting fouler. My power level is getting stronger. Not sure I can hide it for any longer. This knowledge is far too much to shoulder as this Tower of Babel is getting taller. My power level could make the devil cower and bow and tremble as these petals flower. It's now or never, the 11th hour. This Tower of Babel is getting fouler. My power level is getting stronger. Not sure I can hide it for any longer. This knowledge is far too much to shoulder as this Tower of Babel is getting taller.